All right, welcome back to Black Lives Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are here once again doing Lord of the Rings Online book quests. Last session was a sort of a monster session. If you remember, it sort of was broken up into 3 parts here on the YouTube archive, but what it basically was 2 marathon Twitch stream sessions. I just had a weekend to myself, decided to cat ass for a bit, and managed to finally get through the finale of Volume 2, which I consider mostly like the Moria story. It involved also then a hostage swap here in Mirkwood, specifically Dol Guldur, that went sideways and ended up being a just kick in the front door kind of hostage rescue. And overall, really good time. And then if you remember, I was trying to figure out like, oh, okay, so how do I do the rest of this? Because if you remember, I got a bunch of sort of quests that were epilogue quests, and what I think I realized was I couldn't get in the door. Give me 1 sec here. Let me just do something real quick. Okay. And I think that's because my status with the elves wasn't high enough. I'm going to give it another try now. It's, I think, the knives. I'm going to give it another try now just to see if they let me in. And the reason why I'm going to give it another try now is because what I realized, because I Googled it, the best kind of realization is when I make it sound like I actually figured it out. I did not. Google told me. I was trying to figure out like, okay, so now how do I start Volume 3? And I think the trick to starting Volume 3 is you have to get to level 65. So what I ended up doing off camera, and if you look at the bottom, you can see I'm now level 64 instead of like, say, 61.
What do you need?
So basically, I grinded. And when I say grinding, I don't mean the good kind. And I don't mean I just sat there and like killed wolves over and over and over. What I did was I just quested the living shit out of Mirkwood. And it was great. You know, again, I've said this before in the last couple of sessions. I really enjoy the Mirkwood area in this game. I don't mind running around it the way I kind of do mind running around Moria. What is this? Ecod Syrian. That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
What can I do for you?
I'm going to take the slow thing just so I can chat for a bit. Sort of get back into the pace of things. Excuse me. So yeah, I quested. There were a lot of quests involving orc camps, you know, in the Ashen's Lades. There was like poisoned horses somewhere near the drown hole that I need to help rescue. I'm probably confusing all these things. There were like placing banners. There were like hitting orc camp leaders up here. All sorts of the burning supplies. A lot of like hit and fade kind of military tactics. Is that what it really is? Maybe not. But, you know, again, because you're filling in the headcanon of what you're doing. You know, so it was a lot of yeah, it was just a lot of stuff I didn't mind. I got a little tired of running around the Scuttle Dells. Kind of got sent back there over and over, and it's sort of like a maze of valleys within very steep hills. But even that was like, whatever. It was fine. A lot of spiders had to die up there. Or was it the Dower Stocks? No, the Dower Stocks, yeah, I had to go up into the ruins past the undead town. It was just a lot of good stuff. It wasn't a ton like right on the brink of Dol Guldur, but there was stuff sort of in the camps outside of it here. Just a good time. And I mean, it took a little while. I would say it probably took me 5 hours maybe to gain. I think I was level 61 and I wanted to get almost to level 65. So, you know, but it was not laborious. And you know, it's kind of weird. It was fun to just play for the sake of playing. You know, I'm focusing on the book quest. I'm like, okay, what's the story? Following it along this, and then it's just like, you know what? Just take some quests. Let's just do some stuff. I don't want to defeat. Where's Burgul Stazag? I'm gonna take these 2 off the plate. I think there's. Let me take the epilogue quests that are not small fellowship or full fellowship. Let's just see how they go. We're back in Lothlorien. And we are down here. We're trying to get here. I'm hoping I can get in. If I can't get in, I'll just do something else. So yeah, my hope is that one of these little epilogue quests are just sort of bang something out simple like handing in knives. And they get me across the threshold to level 65. That is my plan. And hopefully, that shouldn't be too... As you can see, like, I'm right on the cusp.
Greetings to you.
Don't know where I'm going. This is Karas. Okay. Still can't swift travel. But otherwise, again, gotta... I don't want to say a slow weekend. There's going to be some real life popping in and up, which is which is why I'm not streaming this. I'm just recording it, but I'm hoping just to enjoy some of my Dunkin' Donuts caffeine. Start tackling Volume 3, Book 1. And again, I know I bitched a lot about some of the Moria stuff, but it really came together nicely, returning Zigglebirk to the depths of Moria and sealing it in, getting the little sort of coda moment to the story of being able to talk to the dwarves that have been a big part of that story as we brought Zigglebirk back. Just some really nice touches, some really good story beats building up to the sort of climax of Volume 2, Book 9. It was really long, but all in all, I thought it was... I think I said this in the last stream. I probably would have broken up Book 9 into a Book 10 and 11. Just to pace it a little bit more, but you know what? I'm supposed to talk to this Galadrim guard, and if it doesn't work... I'm gonna burn the whole fucking place to the ground. No, not really. Let's see if it works. Nope. Let me see if it lets me in. Probably won't. Okay. So that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is let's go back. Let's pull these. Let's see. What's this? Also another Lord Celeborn. I think that's the same place I'm trying to go. Won't let me in. Let's take that off the... let's get rid of this because I'm not going to worry about a fellowship quest. Not going to worry about a small fellowship quest. Same here. So Sigilus daggers can't do. Defeat an organ, I'm not going to worry about that. Gaunt men in... Let's add that one. What's this one? Let's see if it lets me do this. Talk to the guard outside of Karas Galadon. I think that's where I am. Not letting me do it. Okay. So then with that, what we're going to do is we're going to put back on the books some of these. We're going to hand this one in. So we might have to do a little more questing. But I feel like I'm pretty close.
What can I do for you?
Okay, there we go. We got it. Nice. Level 65. Let's head out. And let's start polishing get these clear. Okay, because we don't need them at the moment. Let's see what's going on. Lotro points gained. Title awarded. Okay. Deed completed. Reach and experience level 65, so now we're going to be... Reminder, this might be what the mail is. New skirmish available, not going to worry about that, but the mail. Let's see what's going on. All right, things have been bad around here, friend. This is from Barlaman Butterbur to Black Lodge. And knowing that you are a person of no small courage, I have decided to write on behalf of a patron of the pony. His name is Henrik Banks, and he is a hobbit of Bree. He has a family in the town of Oatbarton, which is a village in the Shire. Henrik has told me that on other happier occasions that it is quite a nice place. Well, he received a letter from his cousin Fenric talking about strange going-ons in Oatbarton and wanted me to send heroes to investigate. I've enclosed Fenric's letter, seeing as he explains the matter much better than I could, and hope that you will travel to Oatbarton to see what is happening there. Most sincerely, and with wishes for your continued good health, Barlaman Butterbur to trash the item. This is a small fellowship, so this quest arc begins with a 3-man. I'm going to accept it, but it's a small fellowship, so I might not be able to do it for now. I'm nervous that that's actually the beginning of Book 3. Let's see what it says. I think it did say something about Volume 3. Shit. Okay, I didn't... Okay. A letter from Pethelin. You do not know me, but I am a friend. That's how a lot of my emails that I give my social security number to start. I've sent you this message at the request of Lord Elrond of Imladris. He asked that you come to the last homely house at once. Please hurry. I will meet you by these steps, just outside the house in the Vale of Imladris. Imladris? I regret I cannot tell you more, but the roads are watched always, and Lord Elrond wishes to keep his secrets. Please do hurry. I think this is the actual start. No, let's not delete it. And then to Dunland. The Dunedain cross into Dunland, a land neighbored closely by Isengard, are all summoned to assist in the passing of this perilous land. They must set a path to the south of Enedwaith, and a seasoned traveler like yourself would be a boon. Surely there are friends to be made in Dunland. You should travel there and earn what trust you can to find amongst the Dunledings. Okay, so we got a couple quests. Okay, this is a solo quest. Doesn't seem to mention anything about... Yeah, I'm just nervous I wouldn't be able to tackle a small fellowship quest on my own. This is this, but where's the one telling me to go to... Well, we're going to go to Rivendell. Thought I turned off... Oh no, because when you level, the quest actions pop up again. Level 47 Hunter. The heady days of youth. We were still level 47. Let's decline these. Try and make it a point to clear all this stuff before I actively start recording, but Fellow Warden, level 57. So again, we're trying to get to the outskirts of the last homely house. I may have taken the wrong path. Let's cut back up. Do it correctly. Ooh, 150 Guardian. Very nice. Again, Guardians, I don't feel like you see a ton of those. Ever since, like, Fellowship stuff has been less important. Here we go.
We are met in time of need, and it is a joy to see you.
Black Lodge, we are met in time of... Let me bump this up. And it is a joy to see you. You must have received my message, for little else could have brought you hither with such haste. I did not dare speak openly of the reason of Master Elrond's request in my letter, for fear that the message might be intercepted. I apologize for drawing you here with so little information, but Master Elrond will explain in detail what I could not. Speak, if you are ready. We will go to him together, and we will tell you what has prompted his call. Volume 3 Prologue. It has begun. Alright, so we're going to take this off. I'm going to take that off for now. That one's done, so let me just keep that going. Those are off. Okay.
Master Elrond awaits.
Quickly, Black Lodge. It's my understanding that any delay will serve to do us great harm. So let us act with haste.
Messages have come from Lothlorien. Messages that cannot be ignored. My sons have returned from the wild, and together, they and a hero of Eriador must respond to these tidings with decisive action.
Elro here and Eladon have returned from Thorinhad. I'm wondering, if that small fellowship thing was just like a little Lady Galadriel of Lorien sent messages to Imladris. What can be the matter? Or if that little fellowship thing is like a little mini arc to get this all going. Very good, Black Lodge. Perhaps now we will have an answer for why this haste is necessary. Is that Eladan? It is. Perhaps he will have some answers for us. Eladan, you've returned from your camp in the wild. Indeed, the promise of war has brought my brother and me back to the house of our father. Or, not here in Imladris. Perhaps not yet. My brother and I ride to war in the south. Black Lodge, this concerns you as well. My father waits for us in the Hall of Fire. Seems every day brings with it new mysteries. Such as my first name. Lord Elrond and his sons have much to discuss, it seems. I'm pleased you received my summons, Black Lodge. I apologize for being so close as to the reason for its urgency. But there are dangers on the road, and I did not wish any information that might do us harm to fall into the hands of evil men. 2 days ago, courier hawks arrived in Rivendell bearing messages from Lorien. The messages were short, but even in their brevity they caused me pause. The messages are from Lady Galadriel. I understand some of their meaning, but I can only guess at the full import of her words. You know of the secret company that set forth from Imladris in December, Black Lodge. Yes, I saw them out. We know they stayed for a time in Lothlorien healing from their hurts. I ran into them there. They've moved on from the safety of that land, sailing down the river Anduin with all secrecy. Do you fear for the success of their mission, Black Lodge? They are strong of heart and true of purpose, Father. They will not falter in it. I wonder. This is the message I received from Galadriel of Lorien 2 days ago. Aragorn has need of his kindred. Let the Dunedain ride to him in Rohan. What is Aragorn doing in Rohan? None of the plans we discussed should have brought them there. If Lady Galadriel says Aragorn is in Rohan, he surely is, or will be. That is so. We must gather the Dunedain Rangers of Eriador. You must do this, Black Lodge. You know the roads and paths of Eriador, Black Lodge? You must bring this news to the Rangers. The Rangers will uphold their oath. They will become the Great Company and ride to the aid of their chief. I will meet you in the library to discuss this charge. Walk to the library in the House of Elrond. Obviously, this is a solo instance. I wonder if they made a special version of this level where you could just... Because usually there'd be like I think a boundary, a level load between this area and the Hall of Fire, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering. I think Elrond's library is up here. Oh, Arwen. Lady Arwen catches your eye and smiles a greeting. I know of the messages from my grandmother, Black Lodge, and I know too that my father has asked you to gather the Dunedain that they may ride south to the aid of Aragorn. We knew this day would come, he and I, and have both long prepared for its arrival. It has been my part to craft an item of beauty and of use, an item Aragorn will have need of before all is done. He knows of its making, and it will be a sign to him that the hour has indeed arrived when he must seize that which is his. I hope it will be a comfort to him, too, in distant lands. When the Dunedain are all assembled, I will send for you. I must be sure someone can bear this item to him. I will call you before the Rangers depart. Thank you, Black Lodge. That means a great deal to me. Galadriel believes Aragorn is in trouble. He surely must be. Elro here. So this is the library. Did I screw this up? No, okay. It will not be easy to gather the Dunedain as quickly as it must be done, Black Lodge. It would be best for you to bring the message to certain of Aragorn's kin, that they may then speak to the rest of their people while you travel to those of more distant lands. I prepared the names of those to whom you must speak. Walk with me, and I will tell you where they can be found. Nice, so Sork can walk and talk? My sons tell me that there's a goddamn tree right there. That the Ranger Radnir has come to Thorinhad in the Trollshaws. Okay, Radnir is humorless, but among the trees of the Trollshaws, he is more at home than any. He's an expert in herb lore. Oh, maybe it's just like, okay, it's not literally there. It's just giving me a little picture of... You will find the ranger Candaith in the lone lands at the base of the hill called Weathertop. We've spoken. He knows much about the lore and heritage of the Dunedain. Cyrodiil is more settled than many of the Dunedain. He has a cabin in Breeland, and he is held in higher regard by its people than others in the Rangers. Do you have any questions about these three? Once you have met Radnir in the Trollshaws and told him that the Rangers must assemble, you should travel west into the lone lands at the base of Weathertop. You will find Candaith. He is sure to join the Great Company. After you've spoken to Candaith, you will travel into Breeland to speak with Cyrodiil at his cabin. He is not as prone to wandering as others of his kin, but he must be told of Aragorn's need. There are other rangers you must find. The ranger Halros has a camp in the Shire near the outskirts. I would tell you the names of the nearby towns, but I do not know them. I have not concerned myself with the dealings in the Shire as Gandalf, Aragorn, and Halros have done. The Shire, officially Elvish flyover states. The ranger Halbarad has always had the ear of Aragorn, his chieftain. You will find him at the hidden camp of Estelden in the North Downs. Callan Glad has overseen the defense of Innuminas on the shores of Lake Evandon for many years. He has known Aragorn all his life. I do not doubt he will ride with the Grey Company. Do you have any further questions? Halros, Halbarad, and Calenglad will speak with others of the Dunedain near the borders of the Shire and throughout the North Downs and Evendim. There are 2 more rangers you will need to find personally. The distances are simply too great for anyone but you to cover in time. The ranger Lothrandir watches the frozen northlands of Forashel, home of the Losoth. And yet, the Grey Company needs Lothrandir despite the incredible distance. He spent much of his life in the wide southern lands and is familiar with their peoples. This way, Black Lodge. The last ranger I would have you find is Coronir. You will find him in Auger, Angmar. Coronir is less bold, perhaps, than others of the Dunedain, but he does have some sense. Father, didn't understand. There's another ranger in Angmar that should be a part of the Great Company. Why should Golodir not join the Great Company? Golodir, you say? You know why, or can guess, Black Lodge. You were there. You were there when Golodir's daughter was slain by the false king. That's right, Lorneal. We should ask no more of Golodir. He has lost too much already. Let Golodir remain in Eriador where he can nurse his grief. Coronir will go in his place. Golodir was a strong man and true of heart, but my father is right. He has suffered much. I did not know. I know very little of Coronir, beyond that he be loyal to a fault. Did he not remain in Auger for years, awaiting Golodir's return from beyond the Ramas Deluan? And so it shall be, Black Lodge. You will walk the paths of Eriador one more time in search of these Dunedain. They will gather others of their kin. When all is made ready, the Great Company will set forth. It will be done as Galadriel of Lorien has asked. We respond to her messages with the haste that we must. And with the messenger those messages deserve, a warden of proven loyalty to gather the Great Company in time. All right. Very good, Black Lodge. Many hopes rest on your journey through Eriador to gather the Dunedain for their journey.
In the watches of the night, messages came from Galadriel of Lorien. Messages that give me pause. The company that set forth from Rivendell with 9 now departs with 8, bearing the gifts of the Lord and Lady. Their road takes them now down the waters of Anduin and beyond my sight.
I confess I don't recognize the voice in that to know whose sight is beyond. Is it beyond Elrond? Is it supposed to be Elrond? Is it supposed to be Bethlehemn?
It will not be an easy task to gather the Dunedain.
Master Elrond was right to impress upon me the need for haste, Black Lodge. If Aragorn has need of the Dunedain, they will need to be gathered with as much speed as can be managed. It will not be an easy task, for the Dunedain are given to wandering the wild. They may be scattered across all of Eriador.
You must travel to Thorinhar to speak with Elro here.
Let's see. The sons of Elrond have already left for Thorinhad to prepare for their journey. Just had the mail arrive. To prepare for the coming journey. Let's see. The sons of Elrond have already left for Thorinhad to prepare for the coming journey. Elro here did say that one of the Dunedain, a ranger named Radenir, was staying for a few days at their camp. As Thorinhad is nearest to Rivendell, you should travel there first to speak to Radenir before seeking the others. I've met a few of Aragorn's kin, but Radnir is known to me, for he journeys oft into the trackless Etten Moors, and often stays here in Rivendell. For a time, my brethren sought to convince him to join the company in song in the Hall of Fire, as Aragorn would, but Radnir would have none of it. Travel to Thorinhad, north of the Bruinen Gorges, the Trollshaws, and speak to Elro here. He will introduce you to Radnir. Once the ranger is told of the messages from Lorien, you can seek out the others, Master Elrond suggested. Okay. Book 1, Chapter 1, Volume 3. It's underway. Let us begin. So, I think we're going to the Trollshaws first. We are. So that's Thorinhad, okay. Let me just see. So now here's the thing. I could, in the moment, just click this and just bounce around Eriador. I don't want to do that. This quest is literally Avengers Assemble, and we need to go get them. So I don't want to just be like, clink, go, clink, go. I want to spend some time traveling Middle Earth. I'll use like the stables and stuff, but I don't feel good using mithril coins. It feels, I don't know, feels a little dirty somehow. There you go. So we're at the part of the books where the remaining fellowship have gotten through Lothlorien. I think we even saw it maybe where the dwarf got a little thirsty for Galadriel. I don't recall this quest very well.
What can I do for you?
Going to the Trollshaw, is anything there? Looking for Thorinhad. Is that on the table here? Let's slow roll it. I can tell you I like the setup. There's an urgency to it. It's hinting at where this is all heading, which is going to be the epic Middle-earth defining clash. And it's time to start moving toward that. I like it because it's making the story feel a little bigger in scope in some ways. Like, not that, well, in Moria, it's like, we're reclaiming Moria, we're helping Moria, we're got the Axe of Ziggelberg, we're, but it's not building, it didn't feel connected to, like, Sauron, where this is like, hey, we're back, it's about the Fellowship. We need to continue to like sort of lead block on their run toward the end zone in different ways, if that makes sense. Maybe not lead block, but there's the lead blocker, and then there's the strong safety trying to catch up as the running back breaks towards the end zone, and we're the tight end that gets behind him and takes that last threat out from the backfield. Anyway. Sports. Yeah. So now, again, it's been a while, but a lot of these names that we were asked to assemble are familiar to us, right? They are rangers that we have been interacting with throughout much of Volume 1. They were quest givers. They, were setting up these camps that we had to frequent for many quests. Sometimes in the book quests, if you don't just do book quests, also for non-book quests in these various areas. So I think think we've been to all of them. I think we've spoken to all of them before, so I like the idea of it. Like, hey, you know these people. It's time they sort of don the uniform again and answer Aragorn's call. Decided to go, it's a weekend, we decided to go nuts with some weekend bagels from a local shop we like very much. I went bananas with a, just cream cheese, lox, red onion, toasted everything bagel, really good. But, man, I gotta tell you, food with any flavor is a young man's game. As I get older, it's just like, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna just make me burp constantly? Is it gonna make me, get acid reflux? Is it gonna make me just, am I gonna puke? Just a touch of that, but it was good. And I will not stop. So here we are, we're making our way into the Trollshaws. Trollshaws are an area that I have avoided in my solo The One Ring 2nd edition Strider play, but might be kind of curious to get in there. I'd want to go through the books I have. There was a humble bundle of 1st edition One Ring. I'd want to sort of pour through those a little bit. As well as, I don't know if I have Ice Merp, Iron Crown Enterprises Merp Trollshaws book. I wonder what it would be called. I'm sure I could Google it and track one down on eBay or something, but sometimes I wonder if I should have... Ooh, you know what? I was going to say I used to have a ton of 1st edition The One Ring, but I think they got wrecked in the flood. I don't think I just got rid of them willy-nilly, but I don't recall. There's a chance I might have sold them to somebody on eBay or something, or sold them to somebody in the AAC guild or something when I knew 2nd edition was coming out. But regardless of what I did, if it wasn't because they were destroyed, there's a little remorse now of letting them go if I did willingly do that. Like I said, I have them all in PDF, but that's not the same. Need that toilet reading quality. This is something I wanted to ask. I know, some of the people I chat with about RPGs, what their habits are, but I don't know Matt and Patrick specifically here on Black Lodge. If they just pick up, do they keep an RPG on their nightstand along with a couple other books? I don't know if it makes me sort of imminently sad, but I do. I have some books that I'm working on, and then I also have an RPG book that I'm working on. And I just sort of bounce back and forth depending on what I feel like reading that night. So again, if you don't remember, we have definitely been here before. I like the idea of book quests sending us back around the horn, so to speak. I assume each one is going to be yeah, I want to come, but I need you to kill 12 badgers.
Radenir has left Thorinhard and gone into the wilderness of the Trollshaws.
I thought to give Radenir word of our meeting at my father's house, Black Lodge, so he would have some expectation of the road ahead. But it seems he has left Thorinhad and gone again into the wilderness of the Trollshaws. He's left a few parcels here, so I'm sure he intends to return, but he should be told the message you bear as soon as may be. I and my brother have already begun to assemble some of the supplies the Rangers will need as they head south, but it will take some time before they are ready. Speak to Eloeth by the horses, for she will know where Radonir planned to journey, if any will. Radonir is slow to laugh and to smile, but in Eloeth's company, I have observed it most frequently. Oh. Hey girl, where are your boo at?
How can I be of service?
You're looking for Radnir? He left not long ago and he took no horse. The Dunedain will ride when they must, but he has confided to me that he is more comfortable when on foot. Always behind his word to me was a current of... I do not know how best to say it, other than to say that Radonir seemed always to be waiting for something, somehow. I wonder if the tidings you bring are those for which he has waited so long. I wonder, too, if they will send him from the Trollshaws, and for how long. I will miss his visits if this be so, for I will not remain in this Middle-earth for much longer. I will not delay your errand for personal reasons, Black Lodge. Radonir spoke to me of his plans. He learned that a war band of orcs from the Etten Moors had established a camp within the Lanin Caves here in the Trollshaws, and sought to confront them. The Lanin Caves are in the northwest reaches of the Gladalf, the wood troll-infested marsh of the North Trollshaws. Okay, so no lie, this is a tough area to navigate up here. What do we got? We got Scout Camp, Nan Hornay, North Trollshaws. Let's see if we can get to either of those.
How can I be of service?
Scout Camp, okay. North Trollshaws. So we haven't gotten this one, but we can get this one. So let's try this one. The North Trollshaws are very similar in what I was describing in sort of North Mirkwood. Sort of these windy canyons. I wonder, did they copy and paste? Did they just take the terrain information from one and... Okay, so let's see if we can get north. Now, in theory, the good news is we're way over leveled for literally everything here, so I'm hoping they just will ignore us. Because that'll save some time. But here you are, you're seeing what I'm, like, again, so you just hit sort of like a, oh, maybe not. I was going to say, I thought we just hit a wall. As you're trying to get up there. Okay, Gladalf, that's where she mentioned. You know what? Is this a path? Nope, it's right here. Again, I don't know how many sessions ago it was, but this is definitely a place I've been before. I don't know if it was part of a book quest where we had to sort of plow through the trolls there that we were just driving by. Okay, we're in the spot. Maybe it's this cave here. Let's just double check. Yeah, he's at the cave system. Okay. I'm just going to pause here for 1 second. I'm just going to check on something real quick, and I will be right back. Mike's on now. I'm back. Let's continue. Alt F10 to toggle your lantern. Oh, interesting. I was looking for that at some point.
This is the moment for which the Dunedain have prepared.
Aragorn is my chieftain, and it is my duty to go to his aid, though all the dangers of Middle-earth lie in between. This is the moment for which the Dunedain have prepared, and I will not now abandon my kin. I've learned that an orc raiding party from the Ettenmoors has established a camp within this warren of tunnels. I cannot leave them here, unchallenged. Will you brave these caves and deal with these foes? Somewhere deep within this confusing warren is the entrance to a once-abandoned tomb of men. The orcs have found it. That is where their leaders will be. Thorinhad is less than a day's march from this place, and I will not suffer these orcs to live that they may threaten what I hold dear. I will make ready to depart as you have asked, but I will be grateful if you destroy the orcs and their leaders within the Leynin tunnels and the ruins that lie at their back. After you've done so, return to Elrohir at Thorinhad and tell him of your success. The sons of Elrond lost their mother to such a party of orcs. They would not forgive us if we let these foes be. Okay, so yeah, defeat orc warriors, defeat defilers, defeat the leader. Again, you know, give you a little context, but then it's just like check some boxes, but that's fine. Getting some weird. Yeah, let's see if we can get the timing on this again. Here we go. Okay. Nope, wrong one. I think I might be set. Nope, not quite. Now, I can't recall if this is a cave I've been to already. The Defiler. Alright, this feels like the ruins that we were told to find where the leaders might be. Okay, let's find a leader. There we go. Are we good on the fight? We are. Okay. Now, technically, a signature enemy, a little underwater in terms of the morale, but I should be able. Yeah, I'm already ahead of the curve there. Okay. Since we're at level, you can see there. That's. Alright, there we go. The white text means we're both 65. You can see the numbers up top. Getting some lag. Okay. You know, let's see if we can, where's careful step here? It's gotta be somewhere on my bars. Alt 10, I don't think I need, there we go. I think it's shift 1. Do I regret not doing this official book quest stuff as a burglar? No, but I know that I've said on a number of occasions how much I enjoy the gameplay. What's the cooldown on a, 3 minutes or so? 245? Is that gonna bleed him to that? No, I just didn't get the bleed. So I didn't want to just mithril coin out of here, but I'm also getting turned around, and so I'm just gonna take it. Okay, we're back in Thorinhad.
You have given Roddenir the message? Good.
You'll be able to find some others among the Dunedain if they are to be found within the Trollshaws, but now you must travel west to find others of Aragorn's kin.
Condythe is certain to join the Grey Company, but he must first be asked.
The Dunedain may be scattered across the wilds of Eriador, but my brother and I know the locations of some few, and from those few will you learn where others may be found. Oh, from those few you will learn... Sorry, wrong emphasis. The ranger Candaith was a help to us as we scoured the lands to the south following the rage of the Bruinen. We spoke as often as speed would allow on that journey, and he had many interesting tales to tell of the Lone Lands. You will find his camp there, and at the base of Amansul, of Weathertop. Tell him that Aragorn has need of his kin. Candaith will be certain to join the Great Company, for his loyalty to his chieftain cannot be questioned. On it. Love it. See where we can get to. The last bridge will get us in the ballpark. Did I see that somewhere? The last homely house. Isn't that... I was going to say, because there's... Rivendell. Can you just skip straight to... Let's slow roll it. Because again, I just... I love... I say it over and over. I love being in the world. So I don't want to just speed through all of it. Again, the purpose of this is the journey. It's literally the quest. I wonder, you know, I think Patrick and Matt have told me they're not huge Middle-earth fans. Man. I'm kind of curious what some of the adventures are, the published adventures. I don't know if I would, like... I don't know if I would, make it up as I go along as much with the, like, the solo stuff that I've been doing. But I think I might... I'd be curious to see what the published adventures are like for the One Ring 2nd edition, to see, you know, how's the quality. I've greatly enjoyed my time with it in Strider mode, and now in my current sessions, I'm sort of on the edges of something that is actually published. It takes place in the same area, so I've been sort of borrowing some of the material from one of the adventures, you know, to make sure it sort of locks in with some of the things that have been written officially. So, but I'd be curious to try what the other ones are, see what the other ones are like. Maybe not the Hobbit one. Again, like the Hobbit stuff in the shop. I mean, unless like Matt and Patrick are like, oh damn, Hobbits all in. But if they don't vibe that way, I'd probably go with like Tales from the Lone Lands, Ruins of the Lost Realm, something from there. I know Patrick's into dwarves. So I think, wasn't he playing a dwarf in Matt's Pathfinder game? So maybe he'd be in for some Moria stuff. I don't know what Matt would say, but... So, anyway. How we doing? Still in the Trollshaws. We're going to get to... we're going to get to the last bridge. So it's sort of it's kind of a busy weekend for everybody but me. My wife's out of town taking care of some family stuff. My daughter just had a sleepover with a bunch of friends, but now, you know, it's time to start hunkering down a little bit on the homework. Son's still at college. But yeah, so I sort of have to keep an eye on things, but I don't have the stuff to do the way everybody else does at the moment, so feel fortunate. Okay, so let's see if we can get from here to Oscaruth. That's a start. Oscaruth, if you remember, is this sort of camp in the ruins. Not sure where to put this. I'll put it right here. So this will get us along Great East Road to here, and then from there we'll hit the Forsaken Inn. And yeah, we're trying to get there to the northwestern side of Weathertop. The Lone Lands, again, is an area I enjoy questing in very much. It's like a level 20-ish, 25 kind of area. Some of the book quests took us here, but yeah, I always enjoy when it's time to hit up this part of the leveling process. Speaking of, my wife again is out of town. I'm just checking in. For my son at college, it's during his reading period. So they're actually taking a little bit of a break. So he and his friends took a little road trip for a few hours, so sort of just learning about that. Yeah, it's just, you know, again, part of the Black Lodge Trivia Night is, 3 dads, blah, blah, blah. We're all fathers in different stages of the process. Patrick, the earliest. Matt, a little bit further along. Me, kind of depressingly in like the later stages, one in college, one high school. Not, it's all going quickly. Let's get to the Forsaken Inn. Oh no, Candace's encampment. Let's just go there. So yeah, means more free time for me because I don't have the type of job that crushes me with work over the weekends, at least at the moment. You have my great thanks, Black Lodge. The orcs of the south shall advance no further into the Lone Lands. That's sort of the stuff we were working with him before. Show me your travel destinations. Can he get me places? Interesting. You can get me to the North Downs, Estelden. I think that's where one of the guys is going to be. Let's not do that yet. Chapter 2, Candace's Hidden Cache.
So the time has come at last.
The time has come at last to stand with Aragorn, son of Arathorn, my lord and the chieftain of the Dunedain. In my heart, I knew the day would come. For as the shadows have lengthened, the need for Aragorn to accept his mantle has become all the more pressing. I've come to love the lands between the Forsaken Inn and the Last Bridge, and it will grieve me to leave them. But I will do so. I will join the Great Company and travel south, as you have asked. While I make ready to leave, will you retrieve a hidden cache of supplies I have prepared some time ago? I left a sword, some gloves, and a few other supplies northeast of here, atop a small rise called Ecad Sul, in the shade of a tree. Recover this cache and bring it back to me, for I will have need of it in the lands to the south. Appropriate that he's got a little bit of a go bag. Let's see just where we're going. Okay. Why, hello. All right. Level 23 Hunter. Again, the heady days of youth. The level 20s, I genuinely love questing in this area. So we might have to, skirt the base of Weathertop. Or is it actually up Weathertop? An unsavory gentleman stands where you thought to find the hidden cache.
Looks like you might be easy pickings.
What are you looking at? It seems to me that these lands should be big enough for you to find a path that takes you out of my sight, little man. Oris Kudulug follows your gaze and smirks. You like this sword? Found it, I did, and these gloves and a few choice other items. Sometimes you find these little caches in the wild, left by rangers, I suspect. Easy pickings, if you ask me. Looks like you might be easy pickings, too. I'll be taking your gear and coins, my friend. Without a fight, or with one. It is all the same to me. Orsk Dulug falls, his robbery a failure, and you retrieve the goods. Okay, I was trying to avoid a femur shatter there just to keep moving. Seems like I managed take too big of a dive off that hillside. Weather top. Strange things are beginning in this land. It troubles me greatly. Perhaps you can help me sort out a few of them.
I'm pleased to have these items back. Thank you.
I would have been willing to part with the contents of the cache, Black Lodge. Items hidden in the wild once found should go to their finders, but once Orsk Dulug sought to use my items to rob you, as far as I'm concerned, he gave up his right to them. I'm pleased to have them back. Thank you.
We will have need of Cyrodon's calming wisdom on the road south.
You should next bring your message to Cyrodon in the Breland. He is more settled than some of my kin, but no less a vital part of the Great Company. We will have need of Cyrodon's calming wisdom on the road south, for though we have need of haste, so too do we need to keep our wits about us. Too often can the hasty road lead to carelessness. Cyrodon will help prevent this. Look for him at his cabin near the town of Bree in Breland. He lives east of Thornley's worksite in the northern Bree fields. I'm familiar with it. Candaith gives you a wistful smile. It's true, we don't know what we will find as we ride south. We look out over those lone lands and wonder what will happen to them when we're gone. But this is something we must do. Each of us has sworn an oath to Aragorn, our chief, and none of us will break that oath. We know the risks. None of us would join the Grey Company if we felt its errand was not important enough to brave those risks. For my part, I will not give in to fear of the unknown. We all have our role to play, and I only hope that when I have played mine, the world will have been better for my having been in it. Isn't that what we all should aspire to? Having the world be just infinitesimally better for us having been in it. Maybe some of us will have a much bigger impact, but there you go. He could have gotten me to... there we go, some leg breaking going on. Do it again. One more. Hell yeah. Legs breaking all over the place. We're trying to get to Forsaken Inn. I think he could have gotten us there. I think there's a road. Am I north of the road? I am. And, you know, there are people who, whether infinitesimally or greatly make the world worse, make the universe measurably dumber for having been in it. We should not strive to be that. We should be trying for the opposite. Seems like the least we can do. Again, I love the idea of this place. It's the last edge of civilization. It's this inn, disrepair, but it's still of some use. Let's head to the stable. Let's get ourselves onto Bree.
What can I do for you?
Now, the Breeland homesteads, I think, is where I bought my house. Don't need to go there at the moment. Interesting that I can't swift travel to a lot of these places. Or it's not interesting, it's just I'm a little surprised. I drink a lot of iced tea. I don't consider myself an aficionado. Dunkin' Donuts is an interesting... When their tea is like, you can tell when like iced tea is kind of fresh and when it's kind of not. Or when they accidentally thought you meant a large black coffee and then they just dump it out but didn't rinse the cup. Sometimes that happens. But Dunkin' Donuts iced tea is either great for what it is, or it's just like, ugh, I need a lot of lemon to help wash that down a little bit. And today, I gotta say, probably because it's a weekend, they've been going through it a little faster. It was definitely on the end of fresh. It's a sandwich shop in New York City. When I was in the office, working at certain places, some places were kind enough to provide lunch because we were often sort of stuck at our desks. So they say, hey, if we're stuck at our desk, go ahead and order. And I discovered a sandwich shop. Oh man. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to name these places, but I think now it's called Cafe Clementine. I don't know if it's in Tribeca or if it's in Soho, or if it was once in Soho and now it's in I don't know its story, but they serve Harney brand tea. And they introduced me to Harney, in this case iced tea, and I've been a fan ever since. And now when I go into the office, I'm much more midtown at the moment. I guess we'll see how long that lasts, but I don't go in very often. But for the longest time, for literally years, my offices that I went to were in Soho, Tribeca. One was an advertising agency where I was like a full-time staff. That was in Soho. And then when I was let go from there, I was laid off. I would freelance at some agencies that were in that vicinity. And so I could keep ordering because it was all sort of still within the delivery range. And then at the time, I started doing some work for Comedy Central, and their offices, again, I don't know if it'd be considered Soho or Tribeca. It was below Canal, so if you don't, Tribeca is triangle below Canal, I think. I guess they were all Tribeca, I don't know. No, somewhere above. No, they weren't above. They weren't below Canal, I don't think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is all whatever. They were all just north of Canal, I guess. Again, could keep ordering from there. It was out of my budget. I shouldn't have been, but it was so good. The sandwich place was so good. The Harney iced tea was so good. It's all really good stuff. And it got to it's what I really like about these kinds of places. You're in Manhattan. It's a big city. I mean, obviously, Manhattan's not all of New York City, but you're in Manhattan. But it was my job for a while to place the lunch order, so I would be the one who would call it in. That was, sort of, when I was an assistant, working my way up the ladder. One of my tasks was, hey, put in the order. And I would just take everybody's order and I'd call it in, and then I would make sure everybody got their food. And, yeah, I was happy to do it. You know what? Like, I absolutely have never been a person who minded having to pay my dues for work. I'm not above any job, even at this point in my life. I often sort of like, oh man, like, I think, it's a tumultuous time in a lot of industries and in the world in many ways at the time it's recording. But, sometimes I'm like, man, what would happen if I, were to lose my job again? I was like, well, you just, even if you have to crawl on your hands and knees, you figure something out, right? Like, I'm not above anything. So you find something, you go do it, you don't complain. You do what you have to do. So I think we're starting to get to where we need to go. It's interesting that I was in Bree and then it sort of did a loading screen. I don't know if that was just something happened with the server or if... I don't know. Wires to my earbuds are a little sort of tangled up, so I'm going to untangle them and sort of careen into the woods and plow into this bear. Okay. 64-bit server, but you can seeing some of that stutter. I don't know if it's just because it's a high population area, but frame rates all over the place. Don't know if something's going on with my system. Put the frame rates on the lower right corner. Getting frame rates of, ooh, can I? Okay, so I was about to say, can I mine this place, but I'm too underleveled in my crafting. Seems like things have stabled out a little bit. Almost there.
How can I be of service?
Level 18. Okay, so I was going to say, is this going to be part of the story? No.
Aragorn has need of us, and that is all we need know.
There we go. All right, I see Black Lodge. I will travel south. Cough again here. I'll travel south with as many of the Dunedain as can be gathered in haste. Aragorn has need of us, and that is all we need to know. It's not literally what it says, but Saradon looks wistfully around the yard. I fear for the people of this land, Black Lodge, without the Dunedain to protect them. Great numbers of an unruly sort have already come to Bree, and the brigands of the countryside will have no want for members while the rangers are not around to keep their ranks in check. I will make ready to depart. While I do so, will you speak with Barlaman at the Prancing Pony? He does not think much of rangers, but I would have you ask him to take special care of his inn and the town for the next several months, if it comes to that. He will not understand, but I want him to have at least some warning that troubles may lie in store for Bree. Of course. Now, for some reason, is that somebody I needed to talk to? Not these. No. I thought there was somebody I needed to speak to. Oh well. Yeah, let's head to Prancing Pony. So it's interesting, you know, I have this game at obviously like max settings. I've got a GeForce 4080. The time of this recording, I have not the latest game drivers, but the latest professional drivers. Maybe that's part of the... I don't know. I can't see that being such a huge problem. And I don't know if there's something to the 64-bit servers that I get slightly worse frame rates or... But yeah, the frame rates are going all the way, like, I've had some go below 60 in the last minute or so. I'm not sure what's going on. Just dipped into the 40s. Again, not that I'm a frame rate whore, but... Or a graphics, I mean, a bit of a graphics, but I want to have at least over 60. It feels like that should be doable. Again, here, dip down to the 30s. For a game that's like 17 years old, dip down to the 20s. Now it's sort of going to a quote-unquote like different layer. I don't know what they call it. For some reason. But yeah, it does still make me wonder if, like, you know, they sort of half canceled the some of the behind the scenes stuff they were supposed to be working on. I thought maybe that's not true. Did I turn off? There we go.
What can I do for you today?
Let's clean this up a little bit. Probably could have used that to jump around a little bit. Didn't. Somebody left me a comment. I appreciate it very much. Let me see. You might lose audio here for a second. Let's see. It's going to be a tough one to read. Hold on. Slobodan Rapa something. But he left a comment. They left a comment. It's like every 5 or 6 levels you can upgrade your legendary weapon. So that's good to know. I constantly say, like, I have no idea how it works. So I appreciate the comment on the video that sort of gave some insight into what was going on there, because I don't know. At some point, I should just Google it or see if somebody made a video on it recently. Yeah, this is sort of what they were talking about. The letter Henrik Banks showed me from his cousin Fenric. I haven't seen any hide or hair of the Rangers recently, and if you asked me a couple weeks ago, I'd been delighted, but now I'm not sure. Okay, so they haven't... You should travel to Oatbarton. And, okay, I'm just going to take it just because... Why not? Doesn't mean we have to do it, but again, it was something that I sort of clicked through too quickly and I regretted, so... That fellow Cyrodion does come to the pony from time to time, and we talk about the state of things in Bree. Not as often as I'd like, of course. For every moment of peace, there are 10 things that need doing and no way to make them all fit in the time available. Still, I do what I can, and wouldn't trade the pony for anything. Folks say Cyrodon's a ranger, but if he is, he's more respectable than most. Has a cabin just near Bree, you know, and even spares a smile for his neighbors, which is more than I've seen from some of the others of that kind. Folks say Cyrodon... Oh, just read that. Will you look at me? Going on and on like this? There's no time for idle chatter. There are foodstuffs sitting in one of the parlors that need to be brought out here for preparing. Will you go and fetch some of them? Apples, pears, mushrooms. You'll see the crate. You will, and you'll be a big help to me if you hurry. Can you just, like, bar back for me? Like, dude, I just came to let you know, like... Dangers are on the horizon. Yeah. I'm gonna need you to... go get shit. I don't know where I'm trying to go. Retrieve foodstuffs from a crate in the pony. I don't know if this is the exit. I assume somehow there's like a way to get to the basement. I just don't recall. Oh, here we go. Carry the plate of apples and pears, okay. I feel like there's something else I should have been picking up. Very good, very good. This plate of fruit is just the thing. Now bring me the next goods. Okay, so just go back and get more. Okay, now I've got the mushrooms. I guess it's just going to make me do 3 trips. I should have you work here every day, my friend. Now bring me the next goods. Got the pumpkin. There it is, a fine pumpkin, that one. Thank you. You've been a great help to me today. I won't forget it. So much to do, so very much to do, but you're welcome to stay as long as you like. Join the company, sing a song, warm yourself by the fire. Barliman pauses and his eyes pass briefly over the crowd. There's one more thing, actually, Black Lodge, he says in a hushed tone. There have been a few rude types come to Bree lately, and they've been scaring off some of the townsfolk who like to come to the pony out of a night. Regular visitors, you know, good folk who come by for a spot of ale and some cheer. Do you think you might have a word with that fellow at the table over there? Uchtred, I think his name is, and he's a coarse sort. Maybe you can encourage him to finish his mug of beer and find somewhere to go for the night. Only he hasn't rented any lodgings here. And I'd just as soon he took his loud friend somewhere else. I'd tell him myself, but there is so much to do. Or coward. All right, friend, it's time to...
changes around here, I don't mind telling you.
Time you moved along, I think. What did you say to me? I have as much a right to this table as anyone here. Nope, that's not how it works. At least not in the real world where they can refuse service and tell you to take a hike. More so, once the rest of my friends get here, oh, there will be changes around here, I don't mind telling you. Uchtred scowls at you. You still here? You've made me mad and now you're gonna pay for it. I'll see you outside by the north gate of Bree, if you have any courage at all. We won't be bothered there. I'll teach you a lesson about respecting Uchtred and his boys. A lesson his whole town is gonna have to learn. See you outside. All right. Let me just make sure that I've done... Okay, travel to Oat Barn. So it's not giving me like a quest marker that I can see, I don't think. Maybe, let me double check in a sec. Here we go. In their absence, small fellowship. I'm glad to have it in the list. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it, because it is a small fellowship. And again, as the game constantly wants to remind me, I don't have any friends. Okay, we're trying to get to the north gate. Okay. I mean, Bree's always been a problem, so to speak. But, thought it was one of the things the 64-bit servers are trying to help with. Maybe they do. Maybe it'd be even worse. At the time of this recording, there's a lot of spring festival stuff going on. I tend to ignore that stuff, but it is... I think it's something that a lot of, like, the hardcore fans really like. You know, it's part of, like, immersing yourself in this world. Okay, we're meeting Uchtred outside the north gate. Here we go. Somebody else also meeting Uchtred. Level 75. Minstrel. I don't know if they're gonna watch me beat the guy to death.
Changes around here, I don't mind telling you.
I didn't think you'd show, Black Lodge. We're going to own this town in a couple weeks, and that fat innkeeper in there will have to beg for table scraps from Uchtred and his boys. Just like you'll need to beg for mercy in a few moments. I may even grant it. Begs for mercy. Sidron was right. Trouble is coming. Yeah, to quote Aragorn, today is not that day. You didn't grant me mercy, I kicked your ass, but... Okay, let's, I Okay.
I was right to worry then.
I feared it was so. Very few of these people know that the safety they feel is the result of the tireless work of the Dunedain. And yet our road must take us south, into lands far away from the well-meaning proprietor of the Prancing Pony. You may not trust rangers, but my people are no less fond of him and his simple life than they are of their own sons and daughters. I hope his town and his inn will remain safe until we return, if return we can.
Holros loves the Shire and its people.
Okay. I'll take it upon myself to gather several others of the Dunedain that may be found within Breland, but you should make your way to the Shire. At a camp by the Greenfields, you should find Halros. Halros loves the Shire and its people, and he has watched over them for many years. It may not be easy for him to leave them, even upon an errand as urgent as that of the Grey Company. Chapter 4. Okay, so we're going to be... the Greenfield. Oh, it's actually all the way in the Shire. Okay. Okay, so we're trying to get to Brockenborings. Okay. Level 33 Bjorning or something. Again, I don't think that's a class I'll ever really give a shot. It's one of those things where, like, I think, some people, they play this a lot more than I'm able to, at least at the moment. And, they hit 150, they want to do another class or something comes out and they're like, yeah, let's level this for a while. I barely have time to get, like, one or two characters through the game. Granted, now this is probably my fourth, but, I hit different stopping points along the way with each one. It says it's got like a road. Oh, no, it's the other way. Now, there's like a campsite here west on this road. I'm wondering if it's got a stable that could then get me to... Yes, okay.
How can I be of
Get to
service?
Buckland. Yeah, my son, I was saying he was taking a little road trip today. They went to Washington, D.C., and I just got like an alert that said, hey, there might be... Because, we all stalk our children when they're out and about. So there might be some inclement weather heading towards the D.C. area. So hopefully we're able to still enjoy getting around the city a little bit. It's sort of interesting, like, not that there's something very specific I'm trying to do here in Lord of the Rings Online. It's just trying to literally stream and chronicle the really epic, well-done story that this game presents. Something that I find really endearing for an MMO, a type of game I would not often engage with. But yeah, sometimes I see, like, sometimes, like when I was leveling up to 64, and most of the way to 65, I would put on other Lotro streamers to see what they were up to. And I feel like I don't need to, other streamers do it better, but like the sort of moment-to-moment just minutia of playing the game is something that I would never think to stream, but other people do. Like, you know, I can't recall. There's a number of them on Twitch. One was doing some inventory, one was doing crafting. You know, they just sort of focus on this one thing, and that's what they do for their whole stream. And I assume, I don't know, is it interesting to watch, or is it more just about the community that they've fostered with their followers just hanging out while the streamer does a hanging out kind of task? I don't know. You know, it's sort of like, you know, like, man, I've got this sort of tedious thing I have to do. It's more fun if I do it with friends, so to speak. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the vibe. Okay, so once again, we're trying to get to... we're still not there? Oh, right, we're not in the Shire. Okay. Oatbarton is also somewhere around here, right? Oh, no, that's a small fellowship, so it doesn't matter. I can't do that. So we're trying to get to Brockenborings. Okay. See if we can get in there.
Hello there.
I guess I would not have been to many of these places, since I don't know if the Shire plays a huge role in much of the book quest that I can recall. I know you end up going into Barrow Downs, the old forest. Yeah, I probably had not hit up a lot of these stable masters.
Is there something I can do for you?
Okay, so we're looking to get northeast out of town. Ooh, there we go.
There are troublemakers loose in the Green Hill country.
Okay, so long as there are goblins beneath the green fields, I will maintain my watch over the Shire. That is my duty, given to me by my chieftain, Aragorn. Aros listens intently as you tell him of the need for the Grey Company to assemble and ride south. I see, Black Lodge. I need time to prepare. I had been just about to deal with this particular matter when you arrived. If you can take care of it for me, that will give me time to set things in order. There are troublemakers loose on the road that run through the Green Hill country. I fear they may do some real harm before they are stopped. Can you walk the road and visit the town of Stock, ending the threat of the troublemakers there? I fear they may be brigands or worse. And these are more bold than have been in the past. Return to me and we can talk again. Okay. We're going to be heading to Stock. Okay, so let's get back to Brockenborings or whatever it was called. Hit the stable there, take that to Stock, and work things out.
Hello.
Okay, I've been to Stock. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Because eventually you get to Evendim, so maybe I did some stuff along the way here. What's the Yonder Shire? Level 85. I'm wondering if this person's also doing the book quest. I thought I saw somebody... like another player character when I was approaching that last ranger.
You'll be in for a fight if you mess with me and my gang.
Hey, I've got orders from up top that say I can do what I like here in these lands, and I plan to do just that. I fancy this house, and no man is going to stand in my way either. It's too small to live in, but I could use it to store the haul my boys plan on getting in the next several weeks. You'd best move along if you know what's good for you. Yeah, you're gonna die. Stand in my way, will you? You won't. Again. You show him, he'll never get our house. You win, you win. Just stop hitting me. So what's next? Okay. Get over the hill to that other road. Probably said this before. Staple of Middle Earth is you gotta have a good Shire. The One Ring really focuses on that. I think this game is often cited as having an amazing Shire experience, with hobbits being one of the best starting races to play because of how much attention to detail and care went into the Shire. I never play hobbits. I'm a terrible person, but yeah. Human Fightor, baby. That's my brand. The troublemaker. Oh, was I riding my goat?
You'll be in for a fight if you mess with me and my gang.
It's like you stirred up trouble with the wrong folk. Ouch, leave me alone. I won't bother your vermin anymore. Dealt with the troublemaker in the Green Hill country. It's like we're heading back. Can I hit Hobbiton? Yeah, let's keep going. Spend a little more time here. Entering Tukland. Nosy hobbits are one of the starting area quests, I think. You have to, like, avoid them. As you do something charming and sort of meaningless as, like, deliver pies. But it captures the vibe of quiet Shire life, where that's the thing that you were kind of worried about. Level 98 Lore Master. The level 67 Hunter. Okay, we're trying to get to Brooken, whatever.
Oh, good day.
Brockenborings, there we go. Yeah, I didn't say it in the moment because I think I got distracted. I actually like the sort of narrative device they were using to show you the rangers you needed to recruit I just didn't expect to see a giant tree there all of a sudden, so I didn't quite understand what the technique was they were doing. But once I understood, they were just showing me like a little snapshot of this person in their environment. I really like that sort of walk around and give you like these little visual images that aren't literal, obviously, I would imagine. But it was a nice touch. I liked it. And the other thing I was saying a little bit, where like streamers were just doing like the mundane tasks of Lord of the Rings Online on stream. I wonder, it's just like everybody, you know, if you're a hardcore player, everybody has to do it at some point, so you can sort of empathize with, oh, okay, yeah, I know what they're going through. And so you jump on a stream and yeah, chat your way through it. Yeah, okay. Thank you. There have been more troublemakers on the road in recent days, and I fear they will do some harm to the peace-loving folk in the Shire if I travel south with the Great Company. And yet, my loyalty is to Aragorn, and I know that he has needs of the Dunedain. It is my duty to go to him with as much speed as can be mustered. I do not know what to do, Black Lodge. What can you advise? What do you advise? Can you help me make this decision? Not sure what I must do. Can you help me make... Well, so this is sort of the plight of the hobbits, right? Like in the books. You know, you can't just put your head down and only focus on what's going on here and hope that the troubles plaguing the rest of the world don't find their way to you. You have to participate. And so I think he should go. He should go because the hobbits, you know, have to, you know, they have to sort of handle things on their own for a little bit because there's a bigger picture at play, and we all need to do our part. And that part might just be that the hobbits sort of band together and defend themselves for a little bit.
You are right. My fate lies on the southern road.
You think I should travel south with the Great Company to come to the aid of Aragorn? He is my chieftain, and it is my duty to see that he comes safely to the end of his road, wherever it lies. But I fear for the folk of the Shire in my absence. How will they protect themselves from the evils that crowd their borders from all sides? Aros looks about his camp with a new resolve. No, you're right. There is strength in these hobbits, and if they need to repel dangers from outside, they will do so. My fate must lie on the southern road. I will stand with Aragorn, and that is the way I'll protect the people of this land. Exactly. The dangers are coming, you know. They're not just, you know, they're not here yet. But they're out there and they're coming. Just because you can't see them. Yeah. Thank you for helping me to make up my mind, Black Lodge. I will go with the Great Company. The good folk of the Shire will need to do without my help. Can you travel to the inn at Brockenborings and tell my friend Lothlo Sackville Baggins that I will be leaving? He is visiting Brockenborings for a few days and showed some interest in my comings and goings. Of course. And sort of gets to the point of like, so I focus on the story quests. I don't live stream most of the time. And so when I have some tedium to do, like getting from level 61 to 64, I just do it off camera. But there are times where it's just like, ugh. So maybe, yeah, if there was a group that I was working that jumped in and chatted, that might be more enjoyable, even if it was just like shooting the shit. Up top? Yeah. What is my... I'm wondering if I have a title. There we go.
That ranger will be leaving the Shire. Very interesting.
What's that you say? That ranger will be leaving the Shire for a time? That's Very interesting, as he just said. Thank you for letting me know. That's a shame, of course. Of course it is. Feels sketchy. I don't know if it's sketchy. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you for helping me to decide.
What's that you say? Lotho sounded pleased that I'd be leaving. That's queer. He sought me out a few days ago and had many questions to ask. If I had any plans to travel into Breland, whether I thought to visit certain townships in the Shire, that sort of thing. Well, he and his folk will surely be fine without my protection. It pains me to leave them be, but if Aragorn has need of his kin must ride to his aid. Thank you for helping me decide. Nothing's really sketchy, though.
Should take you to Esteldine.
It's really sketchy. I feel like there should be a quest to deal with that guy a little bit more. Alright, my mind's made up, Black Lodge, and now it's time for you to continue with the task Lord Elrond of Rivendell has set before you. To gather more Dunedain to swell the ranks of the Great Company as it travels south to the aid of Aragorn. Your next journey should take you to Esteldin, the hidden encampment of the Rangers in the North Downs. Halbarad will surely wish to travel south with the Great Company, but he is often away from Esteldin. Speak with the ranger Direvun instead, and he will tell you where Halbarad may be found. Direvun is often in the center of Esteldin, seeing to the general defense of the people who live in the North Downs. Now, I can muster there. Can I... Let's get to the Brockenborings, and let's see about where the stables can take us. And yeah, to what I was saying, like at some point I guess I need to do deeds, right? But I don't know if I would ever stream them, or nobody would jump in to watch anyway because I don't have like a big following, but I was hoping to have something. Let's go to Oatbarton. We have to go there anyway. Yeah, but I guess I could see that, like if I was shooting the shit with with friends or something, if I was like chatting with people on Discord or, whatever it is, I could see that, the tedium sort of going a little smoother, a little faster, going down a little easier. I think of my son in college, he's got like study groups. It's sort of the same thing. It's like, oh man, this is going to be a bear. Let's do it together. Ooh, level 150 Lore Master. I don't know what it's going to be like. I mean, assuming I live this long, I mean, it's going to be like hitting level cap again. I haven't hit level cap since it was down at level 50. It's the only time I've ever hit level cap was with my original main champion. Way back when I hit level 50 in Forest Shell. And I remember I stopped. I just said I'm going to cold quit the game until more content comes out, so I don't just lose XP. So yeah, Oatbarton is like a very Shire part of the village, but it's technically considered part of the Evendim map. Here, let's bring it up. So it's right on the cusp. I think we've been to Bullroar's Sward, so I'm going to take this up to Tinadir, and that should be able to get us to the North Downs. So yeah, I guess I never made it all the way to Oatbarton, but I think I made it a little bit of the ways into this area. I think at some point we're going to end up here anyway. I think this is one of the camps we have to talk to, but apparently not yet.
How can I be of service?
North Downs, Estelden. And it's been a minute since we've been here, but another area I enjoy. Ruins of Enumenas. Some good book quests there from way back. The North Down. I mean, man, all the original Shadows of Angmar areas. I enjoy questing in all of them. All good stuff. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, so it's a nice reminder. 140, 129, man. Level 31 Warden, he has a lot going on, a lot of cool looking stuff. Here we go.
Halbarad must hear what you have to say.
You bring worrisome tidings, Black Lodge. What danger has Aragorn encountered in the distant south that makes the Dunedain his closest allies? Perhaps I misspeak. Perhaps it is not the Dunedain are closest, but instead that they be the most true. Halbarad must hear what you have to say, but he left this morning to deal with a serious danger. Word came down to tell us that a number of foes fleeing from Angmar in the days following the defeat of the False King sought to establish a settlement in a cave in the North Downs. Halbarad traveled to this cave, now called Tam Umdur, to attempt to forestall or defeat these foes before they can use the relics they plundered from Carn Dûm to make the foundations of a new Angmar. Find Halbarad at Tam Umdur, in the shadow of Ost Krithlank, far to the east of Estelden. Nan Amlung East, and give him your message. Help him end their plans before they begin. I mean, yeah, that might as well be in Angmar, right? Going with a rectangle for the stream in the upper left for my dumb face. I like rounded corners. I enjoyed doing rounded corners, blah, blah, blah. You know, learning some of the filters and the things you needed in OBS and vMix on how to do it. Doing it in DaVinci Resolve, but at the same time, it's a slight pain in the ass, and I just want this to be smoother, faster. So I'm going to stick with traditional squared corners for the ease going forward. Like in the mainstream, like Matt uses a green screen. And so one of the things I have to do when I put together the show, for the main streams, is I key that out. Like, he doesn't do it on the fly. I do it. I fix it in post, and because it comes out a little better. It's not that I'm an amazing special effects kind of guy, but it does come out a little better than trying to do it in real time with your graphics card. So I'm like, screw it, just leave it green. I'll key it out and I'll swap in a. But then when you're trying to do that with rounded corners in DaVinci Resolve, then that involves you have to apply the exact rounded corner mask to different layers. It ends up just complicating the few extra steps that I have to do, and I just want this to be like boom, boom, boom. So I also realized I might have gone too narrow on some of the actual play sessions, because it just doesn't leave a little, I'm pretty locked in dead center, but other people, everybody, they move around, they sort of roll around, they move their mic, reposition, get comfortable. So hopefully this will make that a little easier, because I don't want to do face, Resolve can sort of auto center, I think, and face track, but I don't want to get into that. I just want to, again, keep it simple. cliffs leading into Angmar. Again, you think from a logistical point of view, you have to make these areas where you transition into them so that you can move main characters around that might have a place in a certain area, the main map. Here we go. Albarad. Oh man, I love... It's like an actual town inside. Yeah, I love the idea of this.
We win little if the northern lands are lost to evil.
For long years have the Dunedain wandered in the wilderness, Black Lodge. Your message confirms what I've long suspected. Sorry, my voice is starting to go a little bit. The hour is near at hand when my people must come forth. I will ride to the aid of my friend and chieftain, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and let no man or beast stand in the path of the Grey Company. There is evil still here, and if we Dunedain leave Eriador to fend for itself, what then? We win little if, when all of the deeds of the age are done, northern lands are lost to evil, their peoples destroyed. Direvun told you why I've come to this place? Already I've destroyed 3 idols of the Angmarim brought out of Carn Dûm, but I believe 3 remain. Destroy these statues of their most prized leadership of the Angmarim here, Destroy these statues of their most prized leadership, and the Angmarim here may abandon hope of raising Angmar into prominence again. Return to me when you have done so, and we can speak again. It's wreck shop, baby. Let's do it. Again, if I were a burglar, I would absolutely stealth all the way through, kill only the people I need to, get out. And I would love every minute of it. You really doing this? All right. Yeah, no, I don't claim to know what the story would be behind this, but the idea of a town within a cave, I really like the idea of that. I have no idea where I'm going. It doesn't seem to mark on the map where I'm trying to go, but that's okay. I wonder if people save the book quest for the end. You hit level 150. And you're like, okay, let's go blow through, because then none of these people attack you. You basically probably one-shot everything you touch. Okay, dead end, alright. Showing me there's a passage, so I'm assuming it's either above or below. So the thing that it is turned on, and I don't know how I did it. I gotta figure out how to turn that off. What was that again? UI settings? Oh man, I can't believe. That's not it. No, not combat. Key mapping. I thought it was V. Selection. I'm sure at some point I just hit a button when I meant to hit something else. And I don't recall what it is. Man, I really need to figure that out because it's a little... Music. Maneuvers. Camera. Reset camera, rotate. Target lock. Oh, I was not V, it was X. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I actually have it off. I do. Okay. Feel like... Oops. So what do you think? Do I keep making my way up, or do you think there's gonna... I'm gonna start by doing that. Why is that? Oh, that's just my target. Okay. You know, if I murder them all, then there's nobody here to lose hope over their statues being destroyed. See, but now I'm heading back down. I don't know if I want to do that. Let me just see where this goes, but... Okay. There we go. Getting closer at least, that's good. Oop. Did I not, they didn't get to, okay. Now, often when they give you like a hole right next to it, it's an easy way to get back to where you're going. But I'm hesitant to take it because my guess is that all the statues are going to be here on the highest level, so I don't want to drop down just yet. That's the way it came from. Didn't register the fist icon there in my last gambit. What do you think? Should I just drop down that hole and hope it keeps it going? I feel like I went this way. Well, let's get back down, I guess, to this main room and see if we can go north. Basically, do I want to drop? Let me drop down. Well, let me jump off the bridge. Yeah. Yeah, really slow to register inputs. This is where I started? Is that the problem? Oh, that's the problem. Okay, that is the problem. Alright, so let's, Okay. So I feel like I've gone both ways. Just head south. Maybe this guy knows where he's going. Okay, so yeah, I obviously been here before. What level is he? 75. Yeah, so none of these guys are going to touch him. Can I cut this way? Maybe I haven't been this way yet? I have not because there's a statue. Good. So maybe, you know, there's a one on each level, and that's why it gave me the hole in the ground to get the down, because I would have hit the one on the highest, and hopefully I've already cleared the other two, and I clearly haven't. Now, where else have I missed? Maybe there's something like if I get back onto the upper levels of this main room. Off to the side, the way there was something off to the side here. This is a dead end, so I literally just missed, somehow just missed looking the right direction at some point. I've already done that one. That's the one with the hole in it. I don't recall, did I go across this bridge and keep heading north? Obviously I did. Okay. Have I done the upper level of that northern room, though? Can I get there? No. Is there a northern upper level in the northern room? I guess this would be level 2? Yeah, I'm still a little higher. There we go. Yeah, at the time of this recording, what else has been going on? Patrick ran sort of like this interesting experiment of a homebrew cyberpunk game. We did the first session of hopefully 2. Matt wasn't able to jump on, so we're going to keep that in our back pocket for the next time Matt's not around. It was interesting. I did another episode of Space Trucking with X3 from Egosoft. I get into why I don't go into X4 on that, but at the time when this goes up, hopefully that X3 Space Trucking is already up. It's very interesting. It's like a nice, chill... I don't know if it makes for interesting streams, so it's something I'm going to just check in with. There we go. Rather than like do every moment of it like I did with Freelancer when I did Space Trucking. I'd love for Matt to get back into Space Trucking. He was doing Elite Dangerous. Doesn't end up on the YouTube channel, but he was doing it on Twitch for a while. Alright, so I think we just need to get out of here now, going north. I'm gonna break a leg. Got this a little backwards reversal. I don't know what that does. That one's a little off, so I'm now gonna heal instead of doing a bleed. Finally get the bleed on him when he's almost dead, so that should take care of him. Full bleed. Yep, register. Let me clear one of the effects.
Return now to Diavoon in Esteldine with my command.
Alright, you've completed what I started, Black Lodge, and I'm grateful for that. You have my thanks, too, for bringing me word of Aragorn's need for the Dunedain. We will ride to him with all the haste that can be mustered, through whatever perils await. Return now to Diavoon in Esteldin with this command. He is to select as many of the rangers of that camp as he feels can be spared without jeopardizing the safety of the people of the North Downs. We ride to Aragorn, but I will not allow us to dismiss our responsibilities in Eriador. Feels like a reasonable compromise. All right, let's get out of here. So for some reason, I thought that ranger that we were just interacting with hangs out over here in Amon Wraith. I thought that was his outpost. Might not be, I might have that wrong, but I thought that's what his outpost was. Alright, so let's head back to Estelden. Again, I could just muster, or I could blow a mithril coin, but who knows when the next time is that Black Lodge will be here in the North Downs. Oh, there we go. All right. Try that again. Yeah, so with the X3 stuff, what I sort of recorded my first session with it. And again, it's very much in my experience and how I approach it, it's very much a very chill thing. So it's not like tons of stuff is happening. But yeah, I chose the start where you're sort of the most crippled financially, get started as a trader. So it's definitely a slog, but as I say in the stream, I like the idea of clawing my way up from the very bottom. No help on that start, so.
I will do as Halbarad wishes.
So what I need to do is I need to sort of claw my way up a little bit and start getting like 20 or 30,000, but when I'm making like 500, 600 a run, it takes a long time. And I'm not even making that most of the time, so. So once I start having things take off a little bit, then I'll check back in and go into it more. Let's see, I'll do as Halbarad wishes. I too do not wish to endanger the people of the North Downs by our absence. I will speak with the rest of my kin here at Estelden. Other lands, wait for your message. So let's see what we get. Okay, that's a bump.
Bring your message next to Kalinglad in Evendim.
I do not know whether he will wish to join the ranks of the Grey Company or their southward journey, but Kalinglad should be told of the mission all the same. He feels a very strong bond to the lands around Lake Evendim and to the ruins of Enumenas, and may not be able to bring himself to leave. Bring him the message. In the event I misjudge his temperament, we will find him at Tinodir, the ranger camp on the shores of Lake Evendim. If he does not join the company, he will be a valuable ally. Oh, sorry. If he does join the company, he will be a valuable ally on the Southern Road. All right, let's make our way over to the stables and then pick up a ride back west to Lake Evendim, where we came through as we came up through Oatbarton. I assume this is going to be...
Will you help me?
Oh, interesting. It's actually sort of almost kind of level appropriate. If it's light blue, that means it's probably like 3 or 4 levels below. 3 levels, maybe?
Greetings.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, man, when I was in college, obviously my son's in college. When I was in college, you know, summer hit and I just came home, got a job. But it seems like a lot of kids, like a lot of them, I guess, still come home, but it's all about like getting internships that are sort of professionally relevant to the things you want to do. Even like after a first year of college where kind of had an idea of what I wanted to major in, but, I don't know. I could have changed my mind. It just seems like it's crazy, like how you've got to be going from the word jump. And having said that, I mean, my son's lucky he's going to be doing some research over the summer. And he very much knows what he likes, and so he sort of has his direction picked. He sort of has always kind of known. So it's exciting that he gets to do that research. But then it's also weird because, again, like, you know, again, I just came home and got jobs. So he'll come home for a little bit, then he'll go away for a while during the summer, come home for a very little bit, then he's back at school. It's weird. It's much more out of the nest than some levels I was expecting. Back to Nathan Hodges Farms, which is in shambles. Definitely spent some time in those ruins up there, some part of a quest. I don't know if it was a book quest or some leveling I needed to do to keep going with the story. And yeah, this is the ranger camp that I thought Halbarad usually hung out at, but I could have that completely wrong. See, we've made our way here. I'm on Wraith. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep going, and it's going to take us on a road here through the fields of Fornost. The ruins of Fornost to the north there, overrun with orcs. The area to the west, southwest of Fornost is like oath-breaking spirits. Maybe was this ranger camp here? I don't know. I lose track, but... But I love the idea of these camps and the rangers are on watch. You know, it's interesting. At the time of this recording, the remaster of Oblivion just came out. And, you know, like, Digital Foundry, or like, they all, you know, they did their breakdown of the PC version at least, and they were not too kind to it. And I'm sure there'll be patches and stuff like that, but one of the things they talk about is, like, there's a stutter that occurs as you sort of, I guess, like, the world is built with these, like, sort of grids as you go around the world. And so as you transition from one grid into the next, there's always a little hiccup. And I feel like the original The original Oblivion came out, I think, in 2004. Or was that... No. Couldn't have been that. That was Fable. I'm also doing a Fable. I just started Fable for my other CRPG. 2006, I think, was Oblivion. This came out in 2007, so I wonder if there was something at the time where just, like, the technology in the moment built things in these grid-like fashions to... And maybe they still do and somehow have smoothed out the transition between them, or maybe they don't, and maybe that's why, like, Elden Ring has a little bit of a stutter that used to be a problem. I don't know. But I know that this is sort of a contemporary of the original Oblivion. And, yeah, Oblivion, I think the original was like March 2006. But yeah, maybe there's just something going on at the time. That was like sort of the best practices of programming and design that, and just couldn't be avoided at the time. But yeah, you can see there's like every once in a while there's just a little and then it's smooth for a while, and then it's so I wonder if it's sort of trying to pre-cache something, or I'm going to throw out terms like I know what they mean. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I mentioned it last time, I think. Lake Evandem is currently where my Strider mode solo play of the One Ring is taking place. It's taking place at the moment in these hills west of Lake Evandem. And I don't know when I'll be able to get to it again. I keep it on hand for when the three of us can't get the whole gang together. So I'm hoping we're gonna have a good stretch for a little bit where we all get together. But yeah, in the last session, I had multiple. There were 2 council sessions. It's one of the mechanics in the One Ring where they create these systems for how to handle like a council where you have to go in and convince somebody to do something. And I blew both of them, so I'm kind of curious to see how I'm going to proceed after tanking so badly. What I kind of half expected was, okay, I blew the first one, let me go do the second one and pull that one. And nope, just tank that one too. And so I'm just kind of like, ugh, how do I proceed? But I guess that how do I proceed in a daunting sense is sort of the fun of a solo RPG. So we'll figure it out. I finished my jumbo Dunkin' Donuts iced tea, so I might need to get something, a glass of water to keep talking. All right. Yeah, you see those little stutters? Okay, let me pause here again. I'm just going to go get another drink, and then we'll keep going. Okay, we're back. Let's see.
I wondered if this day would come.
You say that Aragorn has need of the Dunedain? I wondered if this day had come. We have safeguarded Numinas and the lands around Lake Evandem for so long now that it seemed we would do so forever. To be told thus that it comes to an end, and we must travel into the distant lands to the south. Calenglad gazes for a moment out at the clear waters of Lake Evandem. I will go with the Grey Company, that is my duty, and I will not shy away from it. But first I want to save some of the relics of Numinas from being plundered. Angmarim still haunt the city, leaderless though they may be, and in the past few weeks they have allied themselves with numerous tomb robbers to strip the city of any relics they can find. Let us recover such relics from one of the wards while we still can. Speak with me when you're ready to go. All right.
I will go with the Grey Company, but there is something I must first do.
But first I want to clear one of the wards of Numinas of relics that would be plundered by the Angmarim and their tomb robber allies if we must leave. So yeah, I like this. You know, the
Ranger
last...
Colin has long stood watch over the ancient city of Anuminos in Evendem. If he is to join the Grey Company on its southern road, he will need to leave that city behind.
So it's mixing it up again, right? Because like in the last book, I think I was talking about how like it's just a whole string of like instances. Not instances, skirmishes. And it was just like, okay. We're back to more bespoke. We've arrived, Black Lodge. This section of the city suffered greatly in the battle against Emarthiel's forces. And robbers come from the surrounding lands in order to plunder its goods. The tree-lined streets of this ward were quite beautiful before the fighting, deserted though they were. Now the walls are cracked, and many of the buildings and tombs that are found here have been flooded or are flooding. Let's save what relics we may from the undeserving pockets of robbers. Let us clear the ward of robbers, Black Lodge. The false king has been defeated, but something, the coffers of Karn Doom are emptied, and those riches have bought... okay, too many relics, too fast. But yeah, basically, there they are. Coins of Angmar are wasted if this is the quality of wretches they buy. Still, if the Rangers leave for the Southlands, even the weak will seem mighty if unopposed. More robbers approach. They fall. Let's keep moving. I'm not content to leave robbers within this city. Fighting against Emarthiel's forces took a grave toll. It did not always look thus. Up these steps, the hired hands of the Angmar came from this way. Go. Okay, it didn't register. Okay, that's fine. They are no match. Would that all allies of Angmar were so frail. Anuminos has stood empty for most of the age, but the Dunedain ain't something. Can we really abandon it again? It is wise to travel. Let us proceed. So he's hesitating to leave. I wonder if he's going to change his mind. Whoop. There are more robbers inside this tomb. Clear them out and recover what relics that they've already stolen. While you see to that, I'll investigate some of these other buildings. I'll meet up with you once again once the tombs are clear of these villains. Good fortune within the crypt. There are many robbers within. Again, everything's really slow to respond. I don't know if it's because it's a weekend and a lot of people are playing. I guess, though, I don't expect that kind of thing because this is like a solo instance, so I figured that wouldn't be as much of an effect, but what do I know? Okay, so I'm really in the hole here, so I'm going to focus on a couple of healing gambits to get going. Should be good now. Okay, examine the plunder. Let's see. Many relics stolen. Very good, Black Lodge. We will return those relics to their proper places, but first I have other business here. Gwyndeth! I know you are there, Gwyndeth. Come forth. Gwyndeth. My curiosity demanded I show myself Dunedain. Nothing more. Who is this man you bring before me? Calenglad? Black Lodge is a friend of Aragorn, my chieftain charged with mustering the Dunedain that they may aid him. What dangers can have befallen the son of Arathorn that such help is necessary? Has the time come at last for the king to assume his throne? That is why we have come. It has been made known to us that Aragorn has need of the Dunedain. I will ride to him in Rohan. It is my duty. There will be trials upon the road. It is a long way to that land. I care not, Gwyndeth. All my concerns are for those I leave behind. Such concerns are a weakness in man. Is that all you have to say to me? Have I not spent a lifetime? Calenglad. I don't know if I need to be here. Feels like a private moment. Short are the lives of men, even those of the Dunedain. Even proud Elendil came in the end to death, and I mourned his passing. But I mourn not for a season, or for a single span of years. My grief will last for many lifetimes. And so it is. I give my love to that which can outlast the lifetime of a single man. Men may die, Calenglad. Indeed, I see death upon your road. Ooh. But if through your actions Aragorn takes his throne, a kingdom shall return that should never have ended. And is that not worth some measure of sorrow? I do not know, Gwyndith. Farewell, Calenglad. And we all will remember you. I will return when Aragorn has regained his throne, I promise. You must think me an old fool, Black Lodge. There is no protection I can offer Gwyndith that she cannot manage for herself. Still, it is difficult to leave behind people and places we hold dear. I did not want to leave without saying goodbye. I have now done so, but it does not make the leaving any easier. Let's leave this place, Black Lodge. The air has grown chill of a sudden, and I am ready to return to Tinadir.
That is the way of it, then.
Some part of my heart will remain always within the walls of Innuminas, though duty carry me far away. It will be up to others now to safeguard the places and the people that I hold dear. I will ride to Aragorn and let the future hold what it may. I will face it unblinking.
You should travel now north to Forokel.
I will speak with some of the others of the Dunedain here in Evendim about joining with the Grey Company on its journey south, but you should travel now north to Forokel. I sent the ranger Lothrandir to meet with the Lossoth some time ago about the growing danger of Angmar. But once his task was completed, he loved the land and its people so much he decided to remain. He would be disappointed to learn the Grey Company was called without his participation. Travel north to Surikila to speak with Lothrandir. But keep this in mind. He has lived among the Lossoth for quite a while now, and has surely adopted some of their customs and taken on something of their personalities. Alright. We're going to be going to Forokel. Okay, I mean, that's the main town. I was worried it was going to... Well, not worried. I thought it was going to be up here in the northwest, but it's going to be the main place to the northeast. North central, I guess, northern. Let's hit the stable up and see where it takes us.
What can I do for you?
Forokel, is that an option? Let's get to Ostfarad. We'll go from there. Again, I think I said before, there was a quest somewhere around these statues it was when I realized I sucked with a champion, and it was not going to be a fun way to get through the rest of the game, and decided, man, maybe I need another class to play. The Warden came out, I think, with the Moria expansion, and I was like, seems interesting, it's advanced, but, you know, maybe to be a little better, and I was off to the races. Finally, I was able to really enjoy Lord of the Rings Online. Punching my mic notwithstanding.
What do you need?
I've earned this swift travel. Let me take that one. I wonder if this is like a... I guess we'll find out. I'm curious if this is sort of the... They're giving you a final goodbye to the old places because Volume 3 is now Rohan and the things that come afterwards. There's not much story-wise of a motivation to come back. I don't know if that's true. I'm just curious if that's why this is sort of... why this is sort of on the menu. And if that... Yeah, that's great. If that's what they're doing. Alright, let's see if we can get from here to...
Are you well today?
No? I feel like I should have been able to swift travel.
I am pleased to be made known to you.
It's nice to get back to Forkel. Not a place I spent... I mean, I think there was like one of the books was up here, right? Book 14 or something in Volume 1, 13, 14. You know, like I said earlier in this one, always a special place in my heart because this is where I first hit the level cap. Love the Aurora Borealis effect going on in the sky. Definitely prefer the northern flatlands part of this map to the areas in the south. Where is this one? Dunland. Make your way to Zudrugund. I don't know where that is. See a lot of the places ahead of us. I just don't know where Dunland is. Wow. Never been to most of these places. Again, I stopped at 84, which was in Rohan. I guess we're closing in on that. Okay. Well, let's see if now we can get to,
My coatie is your coatie.
yeah, I really expected more swift travel. Like, it wasn't even giving me the option to mithril coin my way over there. Someday I'd still like to be able to see what's there to the east. I feel like when I looked, it was a little over-leveled. It might be a raid of some kind. I don't remember at all, but I think I remember on one of the sessions, like, hey, let me go check this out, and not having it go well. Yeah, this book quest, involved ended up involving this area up here. We had to, like, there was a shipwreck where I think, like, I don't know if it was an elvish captain or it was just an elf that was on the boat that had hired the captain, and it ended up sort of pushing things too far, and they ended up getting shipwrecked there, and then you had to help him, like, fulfill his oath or something like that. That was part of that story, I think, for the book quest. But again, it's been a while. That would have been, yeah, late Volume 1. North of 10, if I had to guess. 11. I feel like Book 11 was introduced as part of, like, a free patch expansion. '11 and on. I feel like that was part of an expansion, so I think it was part of that, because I feel like Forakel was not originally in the game, but I cannot remember that far back. Yeah, they were having I think they were having a bunch of things for the game's 18th anniversary. Again, at the time of this recording, I think I saw Aubrey the Weird One doing some streams for that stuff. I wonder what they'll do for 20. I mean, I know that might be a little optimistic, but I don't think it's like crazy optimistic to think, yeah, this game will still be around in a couple of years if it can just hum along. Hey, just about there. Here we go. Elrond and Aragorn will wish to see this book and hear the tale behind it.
Some mysterious foe is endangering the prey of the Lossoth hunters.
You say it's time for the Dunedain to ride out of the north? It's a long way to Rohan, and even if that be where Aragorn has need of us, none know the perilous roads like I do. Yet I've traveled in the southern lands. I've walked the hills and valleys of Enedwaith, been stalked by savage creatures in the mysterious woodlands, and climbed among the rocky heights of Thror's Combe. There are dangers on that road that must not be dismissed. There is no guarantee that even a dozen rangers will come to Aragorn at this time of need, or at all. The blood of the Dunedain flows through my veins, and they will always be my people. But I have another people now as well, and I want them to be safe. I speak of the Lossoth. Will you help me protect them from the mysterious foe that strikes from the heart of the storms under the cover of black night? Yes, of course.
I've tracked the Screaming Shadow to its lair. We must finish it.
The Lossoth rely in large part upon the skill of their hunters. Forakel is an inhospitable land, and though they are accomplished hunters and know every hill and plain around the Ice Bay, there can still be lean times. In recent days, after some of the hunters have brought down game animals, a screaming apparition has descended upon the prey from out of the darkness and borne it away amid the Lossoth's confusion and terror. I do not know what manner of beast this may be, but I have tracked it to what must be its lair. Come with me and let us finish this screaming shadow, that the Lossoth may bring in enough food to feed their people, and I will be satisfied. I will bring my knowledge of the Southlands with me as we ride to Aragorn. All right.
The Ranger Lothrondir has knowledge of the southern lands through which the Grey Company must pass. But he will only take that road once he is certain the Lossoth of Forakel are free of danger.
Yeah, I'm trying to place that VO. Like in the early ones, it's clearly Gandalf doing the VO, like for the narration. Then he's gone. And is it taken over by, like, Galadriel? And is that supposed to be Aragorn's voice? I have no idea. But they shift who the narrator is. Look at this, Black Lodge. I had no idea such an expansive cavern even existed beneath the frozen tundra of Forakel. We must be on guard as we make our way through this cavern, in search of the screaming shadow that has harried the Lossoth hunters. It has carried away much of their slain prey, and what few tracks I was able to find came to the entrance of this cave before being lost in the shifting snows of this land. Do not be dazzled by the reflections on the ice. We must remain alert to all the threats while we search the cavern. This way. Stay alert. Just curious, where are we? Alright. Look there, we found inhabitants of this cave and they appear quite hungry. I detect something else on the still air. More bears? Nope. Does Boar's Rush put a bleed on them? I couldn't... Did I hit a bleed before? Or did Loth Randir do it? I don't know. Kind of a cool... The ice hinders our visibility. What threats may it conceal? Okay, we're taking some freezing, like, chip damage, but we're also healing a little bit, so it's not the worst. Careful, Black Lodge. There's a fissure in the ice ahead. We need to cover more ground. If we search different areas of the cavern, we'll have better chances of finding what we seek. Cross that fissure and continue the search. I'll explore in this direction. Is there a reason to go this way? Okay. I don't think I can make that jump. See, Alt F10 is my lamp. Sort of let my gamut get away from me there. Let me try that again. That thing not die? Oh, no, that's a different one. Okay. A young girl crouches by a ragged campsite. Can this be the screaming shadow? The girl stares at you fiercely, her eyes wild with anger and fear. She shivers in the cold and her face is thin and drawn. There's a feral air about her, and she seems tense, poised to strike. You. You again. Black Lodge, what have you found? Stay back. My grievance is with Black Lodge. What? You know this woman? How? I don't know. Do you remember? Sounds like a baby daddy situation about to pop off, but... because of you, I was cast out of my home. Because of you, my name was taken from me. Once, I was Aver, but no longer. Now, I am Gun-Ain. Gun-Ain, without name. It is because of you that I wander. It's because of you that I must steal scraps or starve. I will kill you. I feel bad about this, actually. Hold, she's defeated. Gun-Ain falls to the icy ground, exhausted in something. Stay your hand, Black Lodge, and I will put away my weapon as well. Listen to me, Gun-Ain. You served Angmar. This we know. And it has gone... oh, then I don't feel so badly. And it has gone badly for you since you were cast from your clan. You cannot steal from... but you cannot steal from Lossoth as you have done. You must find a new home, or you will die here among the ice and the snow. None would mourn you, no name, if you are perished as you are. We will do no more harm. Swear to me that you will leave the lands of Lossoth and seek an honest living elsewhere. This mercy is yours today. Do not throw it away. If you continue to trouble the people of Forakel, you will find that my heart has exhausted its pity. You swear it? We'll leave you this bag of food. It will last until you have begun to remake your life. Leave me. Let's leave this place. Gunane will have to find somewhere to make an honest living, somewhere she will not hinder the Losoth. She will find a more forgiving place to live, or she will die in this harsh place. Others who served Angmar would not even have that chance. Right.
The Losoth will now be able to bring in their prey without interference. I thank you.
Her life is her own now. Whether it will be long or short will depend upon the choices she makes. If she spurns our help and continues to harass the Losoth, it will be short indeed. Perhaps she will find a way to leave her troubled past behind. It is to be hoped she will do so, for otherwise she will perish, alone and without the name for which she grieves. You've done as I asked, and now the Losoth will be able to bring in their rightful prey without interference. I will do my duty as I said I would. I will join the Grey Company on the South Road. Now we're going to get a map to Angmar, which I think is meant to...
You must travel then to Ohire.
We're going to head to the Rangers to tell the Ranger Coronir and Golodir of the Grey Company's journey. Lothrandir listens as you briefly tell him of the reasons Elrond felt Golodir should not be troubled with the errand. I see. With the errands, his grieving. I do not agree, but if that is the will of Elrond, there is little enough I could say to dispute it. Coronir, then, would be told of the Grey Company's mission. You will find him at Augair in the settlement of the Trev Galorg in Angmar. So we're going to get a map. I did not use the map when I got it the first time. Let's use it now and see what happens. Assume it's like a one-time muster. Yeah, I had one to get here. I probably could have skipped. Well, whatever. Okay, so basically it took us where we want to go. I actually expected to be going up to here.
You've come just in time.
Okay. You come just in time, for I do not know what I would do if you had not arrived. Golodir, my captain, he's in grave peril. The death of his daughter, Lorneal, brought him to the very brink of despair, but I thought his triumph over the false king would bring him his peace. Okay. For a time it seemed it did, but lately he's lapsed into such a pit of grief that he seems not to know even we, his friends. His sorrow fuels his anger at the remnants of Angmar, and he goes alone into even the most dangerous strongholds of evil. The false king is gone, but not even Golodir can long stand against the servants that still remain in many of those places. He's gone too far this time, and I do not know what to do. I need your help, for in his grief and rage I fear that Golodir is blinded to the danger, and where he goes there can be no return. He travels alone into the rift of Nur's Gashu, and we must rescue him. So this is going to be a skirmish. Minimum level of 60, so we're no problems there. This is rescue in Nur's. So we're going to do a quest. Let's do search for skirmish. Nope, that's again. It's instance finder, and we're looking for rescue. There we go.
Taken by some madness, Golodir has ventured into the rift. The air is thick with menace, and the stench of Fauloch lingers.
We've done well to make it this far, but it seems that many of the evils that once dwelt here have retreated into the deepest depths of Nur's Gashu. It may be too much to hope for our passage to remain unnoticed. What could have driven Golidir to make this dangerous journey? Has he lost all hope for the future? Has he suffered so much more than anyone? Oh, he has suffered so much more than any one man should, and yet he persevered. Has he at last given in to despair? We must keep moving. Norbar is ahead. I fear what we may find there. So let's. Golidir is not himself. Of this I am certain. Let's bring our helper in. He's the wisest ranger I have known. What could have driven him to this place? I cannot understand it. We must rescue him, even if it be from himself. An ancient fumarole. Ooh. Has arisen and blocked our past. Do we attack it? Protect me while I attempt to find his weakness. Okay, it's got 120,000 morale. Here we go. I found its weakness. Quickly, strike at it. Okay, we must breach before it's too late. Am I going the right way? Tarek Lach has been destroyed. The path forward is open. An ancient fumarole, Tarek Noir, has arisen and blocked your path. Cornier calls out, I've found a weakness. Strike at it quickly. Protect me while I set upon another weak point. Okay, ooh, here we go. Can't tell me, I'm not doing any damage. Everything's absorbed, okay, so let's... Can't... It's not giving me a targeting circle, so I wasn't sure who I was actually targeting, so this might have knocked down the... There we go. Calls out, quickly, I found his weakness, strike at it. Alright. Curiously unlit. Screaming from ahead. Not paying attention. This thing's got 9,000 morale. I gotta be a little careful. Got a little bleed going on it to damage over time it down a little bit faster. Second bleed stacking. Go for the full 5 gambit bleed, see if that stacks. It does. Let's get back some health. It's down, okay. Found a weakness, quickly strike. for another weak point. All right. Strike it again. One more protection. You can see the health bar going down a little bit. I thought I was getting a boot gambit off there. It didn't register my kick. It just went straight to the shield, so it didn't work. All right. Look there, beyond the great pit of fire. It is Goladir. We have found him. Let us make our way to the far side of Norbar. There we will speak with Goladir and bring him from these perilous depths. Goladir, why have you come to this place? Speak, my friend. Lornail, stand back from this door. I've come to save us, save you. Goladir has been pacified for now. Something's not right. Come here. We must unravel this mystery, or I fear he will be lost to us. He speaks of his daughter as if she still lived. There is some great evil at work here. What has raised this madness in the mind of my mentor to cruelly seize upon his grief within his heart? And what can be done about it? What is this feeling? Can you not sense it? Darkness and power. This force has imposed its will upon Goladir. It poisons him against us. The Ranger's pain serves as a gateway for Erebin's will. I will not permit you to close it. Gotta get healing going. Trap is set. Quickly draw it towards... Okay. It will take me a few moments to set the trap. Erebin has been defeated. The trap is... Okay. What happened? Where am I? Goladir looks around in amazement and confusion. There was a ringing in my ears, as if I swam in deep water, but it's gone now. There was something else. A shroud is lifted from my eyes, but which is the dream and which is not? Lornail was... She was alive. It was not too late to save her. Some part of me knew that Erebin had dominance over my mind. But even the small hope of seeing Lornail again was hope enough. I did not fight him. Yeah, again, that was part of the book quest. I'm ashamed. I'm no ranger. Yeah. You're the bravest ranger I know. Why else would Erebin seek to master your mind? He had to watch his daughter die, and then he went ballistic, and I was like, yeah, bro. He sought to deprive us of you, and at a moment when we need you the most. The Dunedain are gathering. We must ride to the aid of our Lord Aragorn. We need you, Goladir. I thought we weren't supposed to... So the time has come at last. Perhaps it will do me some good to leave Angmar behind. These shadows have become too familiar. It will be best to leave them behind. Can I open this chest? Okay, got some money, I guess. Talk to Cornier? Okay. I shudder to think of what awaited Goladir behind that door. Erebun's dominance of the mind of my mentor was strong. What would Goladir have seen there had he remained under Rogmul's power? The Rogmul's power. I care not to guess. I know only that it would not have been Lorneal, and perhaps that would have been enough to destroy Goladir forever. I care, let us escape to the surface. Nur's Gashu is no place for us, or for our loved ones. That skirmish was not bad. That was fine. That, I don't know, it had a little more of a bespoke vibe to it, even though I'm assuming it's, I don't know, it's not really, but it's interesting because I feel like what that was could have been set up as just a, talk to me when you're ready to go. Like, it didn't have to be framed as a skirmish, but it's interesting that it was.
You have my deepest thanks for aiding me in the rescue of Goladir.
For the rescue of Goladir from the very depths of Nur's Gashu. You must have drawn the notice of Erebun during one of his excursions into the cities of Angmar following the defeat of the false king. Who knows what would have happened if the Rogmul had maintained his dominance. We can be glad that did not happen, Black Lodge. I think it's best for Goladir to come with us as part of the Grey Company. It's not healthy for him to remain in this land as marked with grief as it must be for him. The wide southern lands will do him good, I'm sure of it. He'll be kept busy, as we all will be, and I believe that to be the best means of rising above grief, as he must and will. Thank you again, my friend.
You have come a great way, and should now return to Rivendell.
Right. You've come a great way to bring your message to the Dunedain. Goladir and I will inform the rest of our kin here in Angmar, and we will make haste to join the Grey Company. You should return now to Master Elrond in Rivendell, that he may be told of your errand's success. Cool. So, yeah, we've talked to everybody we need to talk to. What's this deed? I guess there's a whole bunch of these we could do. Interesting. Okay. So is there a... Where are we? Yeah, there's a stable. Let's just see where that'll take us. And like, honestly, like, not only is his daughter, like, was she murdered here? I mean, let's be honest, like, imagine the mental toll it must take to exist in Angmar. Just existing feels like it would crush spirits. And again, like, we've said, this game's health pool is not health, it's morale.
Trust does not come easily among the Trave Galorg.
One last ride. Karn Doom, yeah. Where everything finally came to a head. Want to see what some of the swift travel options are once we get back to Estelden. Yeah, but honestly, I could muster in Rivendell, so I might take that because mustering feels like a thematically appropriate. Like I'm not. It's no different than spending the mithril coin to talk to Elrond and Rivendell. But mustering is a power that wardens have. It's part of the class. It feels like it really fits. Out of the mountains, Angmar. Back to Estelden. I don't usually consider myself like a super emotional person. Some may say that I'm dead inside. It's been said. I'll just say it. But I will say that there's like I don't know what it is. It's like obviously nostalgia. I talk about it a lot. I've played Darklands, Ultima 5. Like nostalgia is a big driver emotionally for me. And so I appreciate, again, what I feel they're doing is giving us like one last lap around the old haunts. Because I sit here and I've been playing this game since launch, so 18 years. That's 18 years of, questing in these areas, leveling, hitting level 30 for the 5th time, a lot of really fun memories. Jumping online with, one of my oldest friends, as we were in Lake Evendim. I guess they pronounce it Evendim, but Lake Evendim, when we both got our mounts, just a lot of really good memories. So I'm happy to spend a few minutes, just letting it wash over one more time. Is that a brawler? I don't know what that class is. All right, we're almost there. See where we go.
What do you need?
Oh, we can go all the way. Okay. As I say, it's really, let me Alt F10. Oh. Performance, really taking a hit. I wonder why. Level 51 Bjorning. Back to the last homely house. So that's the thing, I think those guys were in, the Old Timers Guild. I don't know what the Old Timers Guild is, but it's just, again, it's I feel like this game's audience is just, people who've been here, old timers like myself, even older maybe, who just want to be in Middle-earth. It's not about, the mechanics, quest, raiding and WoW. Alright.
The Grey Company assembles. What dangers will they face on the road south?
You've done quite well. The Grey Company assembles with as much haste as can be taken, and they will ride to Aragorn in the wide southern lands. Whatever dangers have befallen him, we must believe the Dunedain will reach him in time. If you desire to aid the Grey Company in Aragorn further, you may ride with them. I will tell you when all is made ready. Until that day, Black Lodge, go in peace. Keep still the safety of these lands. The way south will be dangerous.
The Dunedain have been called to fulfill their purpose in this age, to ride to the aid of their chief Aragorn, son of Arathorn. The road of the Grey Company will be fraught with peril, but they must not fail.
Okay, you played a major part in the war against Angmar. Now we must turn our attention to the war against the Dark Lord. Book 2, Chapter 1. There we go. So Book 1 is done in Volume 3. We're going to be talking to Arwen. By your efforts, the summon was brought throughout Eriador. And now the Dunedain have responded. Many of their number have come to Imladris, and they prepare to depart for the southern lands that they may come to Aragorn in his time of need. You'll ride with them, if you see fit to do so, but I have been made aware that my daughter desires first to speak with you. She is at Imdalin, on the slope north of Imladris, overlooking the road that climbs up into the Misty Mountains. I'm familiar with it. We're going to accept. And that's where we're going to call it. Another book down in the ongoing epic quest line in Lord of the Rings Online. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved the culmination of Volume 2. I feel like this was a really strong opening. I don't like Rohan. That's not true. I don't like the war steed riding mechanics in Rohan, but I do like what I've seen of Rohan for adventuring. But that's where I stopped. So everything after that's going to be brand new. So I'm curious what the next steps are, because again, I was level 84 doing Rohan stuff, so I feel like we're a bit of ways from that, obviously. So so again, Black Lodge Trivia Night, we're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play channel, podcast. If you prefer audio versions of that kind of stuff, search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio, and we should show up. If you're watching this, you found our YouTube channel, like and subscribe if this is your thing. Again, I know I do a lot of CRPG stuff, and I do the story here, but I'll tell you, like, the heart of this is truly the tabletop RPG actual plays. It's where I have the most fun, and it's always great to chat with the other guys. Thanks again for checking this out, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.